All right, let's go over the EPs for this week. This is week three of the quarter, week three of the earnings season. This is the peak of earnings season. This is the busiest week. This is the most exhausting week. This is the week you have to spend the most time on, before market, after market, after hours. It's a tough week mentally. It's a very draining week, and I got a ton of stocks to go through. Got 27 on my list. Let's go through them. First one is INOD, Innodata. Beautiful gap up, nice base gap of 59%. Uh, very little pullback, even I think zero. Let's see it. Yeah, it didn't even go down to start the day. It went up, a total of 25%, pulled back, finished around 15%. The earnings, really good earnings, really good um, revenue, 55% year over year. The surprise was 18%. Anything over 20% is really good. Anything over 40% is outstanding. The EPS surprise was 223%. Anything over 100% is really good. And the EPS year over year was 91%. So that was a really good one to start. That was today's EP. Really, really good one. This stock has made big moves in the past. Um, very low float as well. So this one can go. Look at the volume. Volume is huge. This one could go. Next one is going to be Sterling, STRL. Really, really, really good earnings again. 92% year over year revenue growth off of a 51% year over year revenue growth the quarter prior. 41% surprise. Like I said, anything over 20% is really good. 40% is outstanding. 50% EPS surprise, solid. And then 120% year over year EPS. Also had incredible full year earnings. Sees full year 26 adjusted EPS of 18.4 versus the consensus of 13.5. The revenue was not as impressive, but still very good. 3.70 billion, consensus 3.1 billion. This is outstanding, outstanding earnings. Um, Gaps above highs, all-time highs. Gapped, let's see, 37% above all-time highs, and we're up 21% in a few days. Really, really good. Next one on the list is OSS. Another really good chart, nice base, and really good earnings. 114% year over year EPS and 120% earnings surprise with a 15% revenue surprise. Solid, solid earnings. Very nice base. Had a run up, went sideways for, you know, 3.9 months and then gapped up. The gap was not huge. It was just, well, 15%, still pretty good. Float is 16.5 million, and the high so far is it's already over 50%. Um, so that one's a really good one. Volume, very good. Next one, AMN, another really good earnings report. This one had a long base going sideways, gapped up over that price action. It did have a long tail here of 7.65%. So for my system, I usually put 4% stop on anything over $10. So I would have been stopped out of this one, but still worth looking at. 367% EPS year over year growth, 100% revenue growth. Just an excellent earnings report. Volume was not super good, but it's still, solid. Um, see the volume percentage was about 5 times its average volume. Next one, APT. No, sorry, that's not the next one. SMCI is the next one. SMCI had a very good report. 171% EPS year over year growth and 123% revenue growth coming off of last quarter's 114% revenue growth. This stock has been beaten down. It had kind of an ownership problem because I think it had like a short report. They were cooking the books or something. So whenever that happens, it's kind of tough for these stocks to recover. They really need really good earnings for people to like buy into them again because they probably, these big institutions are not going to take the risk of um they're just not going to take the risk that they might still be cooking the books. They don't want to have that on their uh in their portfolio that they're going to hold for many months. But still, as like kind of a short-term trader or shorter term trader as opposed to the institutions, this was just an absolute killer report. Um and from open it's up 12%, solid. Next one is Digital Ocean. So this one did not quite have the great report, but what it did have is kind of a theme, a little bit of a theme and a very good chart. The chart, nice cup here, and it gapped up above or close to all-time highs and then powered through. So now it's just looking at, clean air above it, um, nothing overhead. And what I really liked about this report, and you have to dig in a little bit, is one, I think that the EPS versus the consensus, I think my numbers are wrong on this. However, it didn't calculate properly, I don't think. And then, what I really liked about the report is it had to do with AI, which is just like a mega theme right now. Inference in agentic era needs its own cloud. DigitalOcean built it, and our record Q1 results demonstrate the strength of our platform. We drove 22% top line growth with our $1 million plus customer, and our AI customer uh, is growing 221% over the year over year. We exceeded our revenue and profitability guidance, and we launched DigitalOcean AI Native Cloud, the first cloud built end to end for inference in agentic era. Okay, so it's AI inference. That alone in this market is going to gain attention. This has been like the theme of this week is AI. Anything, any company that mentioned AI in their earnings report got a bump. Okay, people are looking to put money to work at this point. The market is, full bull, like raging bull market. And this one had a really good chart and not the best earnings, but you can anticipate new earnings. Um, and so far, it's up 25% in a few days. Next one on the list is Flywire, FLWY. No, sorry, FLYW. Just a really good report again. 233% EPS growth, 233% surprise, 43% year over year growth, coming off of 35% year over year growth the quarter prior. Um, Solid gap above highs. Did have a long tail here, but it's up 14% And then it also had what I call like extra juice, right? So it had Flywire announces 50 million accelerated share repurchase program. So they're buying back shares. The market loves buybacks. Um, and that just provides like it's like that added bonus, that added extra juice to make the stock go higher. And like, things like that, things like you know, price target raises by analysts. That just provides that little extra juice to make the stock go higher. MRVI is the next one. So this one, the biotech. I always question biotechs that have earnings because sometimes it can be just like erratic and it can't, it's a lot of, many times it's not consistent or it's like fake earnings. But this one did have really good earnings, 113% year over year EPS, 120% EPS surprise, and 40% year over year revenue growth, and a 21% surprise. Let's see. Yeah, that's pretty much it on that. It did have a slight revenue guidance increase for the full year. Next one is West, WEST. Another solid report, 44% revenue growth year over year, 48% previous quarter, and 82% EPS growth. Uh, nice, solid chart. Lower price stock went down 1.8% after gapping up 18.64%, and then the high was 23% for one day. Not bad. Just a solid report. Like in a horrible market, this is a really nice report. In a great market, this is like an average report. Like the market's taking any good report and it's like it's almost doubling it. It's like normally an average market, this might go up to 7.7. In this type of market, it goes up to 8.3. It goes up 20% as opposed to 10%. The market is incredible right now. Unbelievable market. We're going to get a pullback. Everyone knows that. But in the meantime, um you have to go by what the market's saying. You're not going to just look if the market's rewarding buyers, then you buy. Once it starts once it stops rewarding you, you start changing your strategy or adjusting. All right, next one, AGL. AGL. Another solid one. This one had good EPS. EPS was 1.8. Consensus was 93 cents. And did have full year guidance raise of 5.68 billion versus 5.45 billion. Um, Solid, nothing like extraordinary, but a good report. It's up 40% in 2 days. Next one, Tabula, TBLA. Now this one did not have great earnings. Let's see. Yeah, so my earnings, for whatever reason, it's not calculating the surprise properly, but it's the report was 20 cents EPS, where the consensus was 4 cents, so that's a really big beat. It had a decent revenue beat, 466 versus 453. It did have a Q2 raise of revenue, 492 versus 486. And then the report had, again, the theme that is causing everything to move higher. It had AI in it. Our unique data, AI, and distribution continue to deliver real performance outcomes. If they just mention AI, the stocks are moving off of that. All right, next one is FLNC. FLNC. All right, so this one was not an earnings report. That was really good. Um, this one, the biggest note was that our customer expansion strategy is gaining momentum. We have signed master supply agreements with two hyperscalers and expect to convert our first order soon. So they signed a deal. Didn't mention who it was, but again, AI, hyperscaler, all that nonsense. It's up 26%, high of 42%. Next one is Flex, another earnings report that wasn't great, but it says Flex intends to spin off cloud and power portfolio into an independent company, and it had to do with AI. So it gapped up 24%, and it is up 18% from open, and it's at all-time highs. Next one, Akamai. Another one, earnings not special, but had a report that said, and today we are very pleased to announce that a leading frontier model provider has committed to 1.8 billion over 7 years for CIS, further validating our position as a key infrastructure provider in the AI economy. AI, anything that has AI, it's going to move. However, whenever there are these stocks that don't have good earnings, they tend to have long tails. And so for me, I enter usually like at the open or in the post market. And so these long tails, like I have a stop in. So if it's going to go down 8% in the day, I'm going to be out at 5%. So I don't like taking these stocks as much as um, just like the pure earnings plays. I feel like the pure earnings plays, just like really good earnings, regardless, it doesn't have to even have a story. If it just has really good earnings, that's like my bread and butter. And those tend to not they don't shake you out as much. This one, people see this and they're like, all right, if they're in from here or here, then they take it as an opportunity to sell at the open and they sell. And yeah, it might go higher because the market's so strong, but it's an opportunity for some people to sell. All right, next one, Life. All right, let's see what this one was. It's hard for me to remember all these. Life was, uh, I guess, just a revenue, um, just a guidance raise, and it's above all-time highs. Um, so that one's up 30%, 2 days. Lower float, under 50 million. Um, and it's above all-time highs, so it's got room to go. Next one is IART. You can see how many of these don't have great earnings. There's so many earnings reports this week that inevitably there's going to be some that go up that don't have great earnings. So you do have to do some digging on like, okay, like why is this up? And um, for this one, this is like one of those like another extra bit of juice, right? So it appointed a new CEO. Whenever there's like a new CEO, those tend to work for companies that are super beaten down, right? They're like, finally, we've got, you know, the company's not doing well, and then we get a new CEO. It provides hope for people, and so far, this one is up 17.7%. Okay, so now I'm going to move on to a whole nother list, and this list is simply just stocks that didn't have good earnings. I didn't see any news on them, and yet they still went up. APT uh, moved up 35% in 2 days. Not good earnings, but it went up. Uh, had low float 8.0% or 8.0 million. CYRX, the next one. Another one's up 29% and the earnings were not good. ASPN. Another one, earnings not good, still went up 18%. Let's see, what's this one? This one is WSC. This gapped up today. It's about 7%, 8%. XPER, average earnings at best. It's up 11%. Frog, average earnings, decent earnings. It's up 9%. And then FA, up 13%. And the last one is DVA. This one had a really good chart. Had a long base, gapped up. DVA is up 15.5%. So, look, these stocks here, like they didn't have good earnings, they didn't have any good news. I couldn't find anything on them that was like related to anything specific. But when you're in a market like this, people are just looking to put their money to work, you know? People are looking to buy whatever. Like I said, we're gonna have a pullback eventually, but you just go with the market as it goes. As long as it's above the 10-day, then you just, you know, abide by your sell rules. Um, but that's it. That's week 3 of this earnings season. Super, super busy. I'm happy it's over, but there were lots of opportunities this week to get yourself positioned in some good stocks that you can hold for the next few months or so.